Japanese Tales. Authority. The seasoned warrior Fujiwara no Chitakata arrived in Kozuka province. Once, a robber got caught in Chitikaka's house and was clapped in irons on the spot. Then he slipped free somehow, and since escape was all but impossible, he took Chitika's little son hostage, dashed into a room, and pinned the boy to the floor, and waited with his dagger poised at the child's stomach. Chikataka was at home at the time. "He's taken the young master hostage, sir," cried the retainer, who rushed to him with the report. When Chikataka saw with his own eyes how true this was, his sight dimmed, and he thought all was lost. If only he could get the dagger away from the man. But the robber had the glittering blade pressed to his son's skin. "You get any closer, and I'll run him through," he snarled. It was not worth the risk. No, indeed. "Stay away," Chikitaka ordered his retainers. "Just keep an eye on him from a distance. I will go and inform the governor." The governor was Minamoto no Yorinobu, a very old friend indeed, since Chikitaka's mother had been Yorinobu's wet nurse. He lived nearby. Chikitaka burst in on him in a panic, blurted out the story, and wept. Yorinobu smiled. "I understand how you feel," he said, "but this is no time for tears. You should be standing up to this fellow. Never mind whether he's a man, a god, or a demon. Don't you realize you look an awful fool, carrying on this way like a baby? He's only a little boy, you know. Let him be killed. That's the way a warrior thinks. All this tender love for wife and children just drags a man down. Being fearless means not caring about your own life or your family's. But anyway, I will go and have a look." With his sword at his side, Yorinobu strode off toward Chikitaka's house. The robber recognized him when he looked into the room. Far from threatening him as he had Chikitaka, the robber simply glowered toward the floor, poked his dagger at the boy a little harder, and made it plain that if the governor came up any closer, the boy, who was bawling very lustily, would die. "Well, did you take him hostage to keep yourself alive, or do you plan to kill him?" Yorinobu asked. "Answer me." "How could I possibly mean to kill him, sir?" replied the robber gloomily. "But I don't want to die myself. I thought taking him might help me try and stay alive." "I see. Then get rid of the dagger. You'll do that for me, won't you? I don't want to see you have to kill a child. You know the kind of man I am, I'm sure. Now drop it." The robber thought for a moment. "Thank you, sir," he said. "I really have no choice, do I?" He threw the dagger across the room, lifted the boy to his feet, and let him go. The boy ran off. Yorinobu stepped back into the garden while one of his men dragged the robber out by the collar. Chikitaka assumed the governor would execute the fellow on the spot and let the dogs have his body. "Fine," said Yorinobu. He let his hostage go very nicely. Poverty made him steal, and he took a hostage only to survive. We needn't hold any of that against him. When I told him to release his hostage, he did. He's no fool. Let him go. Now then," he went on to the robber, "tell me what you need." The robber was too dissolved in tears to answer. "Give him some food," Yorinobu ordered. "He's already committed crimes, and he may end up killing someone after all. Get a good strong workhorse out of the stables and put a cheap saddle on it, and bring it here." Someone went for the horse while Yorinobu sent someone else for an old bow and quiver. When the things arrived, Yorinobu put the quiver on the man's back and set him on the horse, with 10 days' worth of patched rice in a bag slung from his waist. "Now get out of here," he commanded. The man galloped away at top speed.